Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting ready with me for Shabbos. Throughout this video, I'm going to be going through so many different rules and things that I do on Shabbos in honor of Shabbos and to enhance Shabbos and rules, but we have to understand where these come from. So to dive into that, we have to understand what halacha is. So the literal meaning of halacha is the combination of halacha d'oraita, which is law straight from the Torah, and halacha d'Rabbanan, which are rabbinical laws. So there are many halachas that are prohibited on Shabbos. For example, we need to do all of our plowing and gardening work that is considered from the Torah Isser D'Oraita. It's an Isser D'Oraita because it comes straight from the Torah. Sheshet Yamim Tavor V'Yom Shvi'i Shabbat Becharash V'Bikitzur Teshabat. So we know that this comes straight from the Torah, and so we can't use it. But another meaning of halacha is literally to walk in the ways, and it teaches us that this is how we're supposed to walk. This is the way to life, and so we know that that's how we're supposed to live. So we live by that. The next thing that I'm going to do to prepare for Shabbos is turn off all my electronics. The reason we do this is because everything that we can't use, there's no purpose for, is called muksa because it's a d'Rabbanan halacha, which means rabbis who have authority to introduce new halachas. But it's not written in the Torah, but the rabbis did it, so we can't use it. So I'm going to turn off this, set it aside, and I'm not going to use it until 25 hours after sunset on Friday. The next thing I'm going to do is turn off my lights in my room so that I can sleep on Shabbos. When turning off the lights, we have to understand that we don't change halacha to get with the times. Everything that is set before, it can't be overturned. But the Torah and halacha apply in every generation. But when things shift in the world and there's a new reality, we have to determine how this applies to the new reality, not how the new reality applies to halacha. So, for example, turning off your lights on Shabbos, this didn't really happen back in the olden days. So there's this thing called a posek, and he has to be very applied in this area that they're going to apply it to, and halacha, and then he can give an answer to what's going to happen. One of the words used to instruct us to keep Shabbos is zachor, and that means to remember. One of the ways I like doing this is on Friday night after I get home from shul before dinner, I like to read the parsha to remember every parsha in the Chumash every week. That is used to instruct us to keep Shabbos is shamor, which is guard. One of the ways that I guard Shabbos is that I put away all the electronics before Shabbos starts so I'm not tempted to go on it and break Shabbos.
Nava, what even is the point of Shabbos anyways?
One of my subscribers had a question. Well, Leah, the answer to this is actually 3 parts. First is to recognize that Hashem is the creator of the world. The second is it's because it's a sign of the covenant between Hashem and Bnei Israel. And lastly, because it's a small taste of what's to come in Olam Haba. Next, I'm going to take my avocados from my avocado tree and bring them inside. Because if I do this on Shabbos, it's called ma'amer, which is gathering things from a place that they grow. I'm going to make sure to move all my chairs so that they're in the right spot for Shabbos dinner, because if I do that on Shabbos, then it may result in a devar she'eino mitkaven, which is unintentional outcome. Because if I move the chair, it's going to dent the floor, which is a psik reisha, and that's forbidden on Shabbos. Next, I'm going to put all my flowers in the cup. I have to do this before Shabbos, because if I did it on Shabbos, then it would be considered kotzer, which is one of the 39 melachos, which is picking something that goes from the ground. I'm going to go set aside a rock that I want to play with on Shabbos. Rocks are considered muksa machmas gufo. That means they don't have any purpose on Shabbos, so that means that we're not allowed to use them. But if I set it aside before Shabbos and I know that I'm going to use it, then I'm allowed to. So I'm going to go tell this rock that I'm going to use it. Hello, rocks. I'm going to use you to play with, okay? Okay, thank you. Next, I'm going to make sure that all my food is ready before Shabbos. The reason for this is because of the malacha called bishul. Bishul is defined by food improving or making using forms of heat. Roasting, baking, searing, frying are all forms of bishul. I have to make sure not to even use the microwave because any accepted form of cooking like the microwave is also prohibited by Torah law. I am able to take fully cooked food from the freezer and cook it on a way that doesn't resemble cooking, which is on a blech, which is just heating it up, because in bishul achar bishul. So if the food is already made, there's no way that you're making it again. The next thing I'm going to do to prepare for Shabbos is get the Shabbos candles ready for my mom. The reason we light candles is because a mitzvah deoraita comes straight from the Torah, and we must light candles before sunset so that it isn't a suffix in a matter, and something that is deoraita or very machmir on. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Right when I light candles, I have to be finished doing everything I need for Shabbos, and I can't make any significant changes after I light candles. In the same way that you have to be finished doing everything during your lifetime for Olam Haba, you can't change anything after Shabbos. Now that I'm all out of the shower and clean and ready for Shabbos, I need to do my skincare and makeup. The reason I did all this before Shabbos is because there are various malachas on Shabbos, like memareach, which is putting on all my moisturizer, like spreading, and sovea, which is putting on my blush. It's like dyeing, because in the Mishkan, they dyed the hides of the skin of the sheep to use for curtains in the Mishkan, and so we can't do it. That's where the 39 malachos come from, 39 things that they used to do in the Mishkan. Although if you noticed, I didn't put on like my serums, like the ordinary ones, because I can use those because they're purely liquid. It does not keep any shape, so it's not prohibited as a manner of spreading. I have to cut my nails before Shabbos, because if I cut them on Shabbos, it is considered gozes. Gozes means shearing, and this refers to anything growing from my body, such as your hair or your nails. And it's a malacha, so I can't do it on Shabbos. The reason I tear toilet paper is because if I cut it on the exact line, if I rip it on the exact line, then that is mechatech, because that is tearing. But if I cut between the lines, then it's a shinoi, and it might be permitted. But just to be on the safe side, I rip my toilet paper before Shabbos. Next, I'm going to put away my regular sponge and take out my Shabbos sponge so that I don't accidentally squeeze out water on Shabbos and create the malacha of dash. Now it's time for the final step. Now that I've prepared, I'm gotten ready for Shabbos, and I'm dressed, I'm going to head to shul and have a great Shabbos. Bye!